Your WavyOcho gonna react to the Hardy Boyz and AEW is just sad. Yeah, the Hardys, they didn't did much. They didn't really do much in AEW. It's, together.
Hardy Boyz' AEW run was quite a mess, from their debuts and reunion to their controversial matches and their AEW tag titles win being cancelled due to one of the brothers' legal troubles.
Yeah.
This is the story of
Jeff Hardy
and Matt Hardy in All Elite Wrestling. Like the video and let's talk about the Hardy Boyz in AEW. On the 2nd of March 2020, Matt Hardy's contract with the WWE expired and himself and Jeff had returned to the WWE at WrestleMania 33 in 2017, but after they won the tag titles very quickly and lost them not too long after, they had kind of found themselves trailing in the company. Jeff Hardy had gotten injured and Matt Hardy began teaming with Bray Wyatt, which started off well but kind of fizzled out after they lost the tag titles.
I mean, they was feuding with Cesaro and Sheamus. They had some good matches between the Bar and the Hardys.
And when Matt Hardy went back to being a single star again, he was just left trailing in the depths of the mid-card until his departure, and it was very obvious what his next move was gonna be, and that of course would be to sign with All Elite Wrestling, which of course he did, debuting on the 18th of March 2020 AEW Dynamite, bringing back his broken character and aligning himself with the Elite for the upcoming Blood and Guts match. A match which of course was postponed, but was changed to Stadium Stampede. This match obviously was against the Inner Circle, and so early on Matt Hardy was involved in big storylines in the company. The Elite versus the Inner Circle was the biggest thing going for them, and his team won the Stadium Stampede match, and of course he also had that awesome street fight tag match where we saw the golf cart come out, as well as other crazy antics. That match was absolutely insane. However, very quickly the broken gimmick would begin to be phased out, and this is due to Matt Hardy believing that it was not working due to a lack of crowd because of the ongoing pandemic, which I can kind of agree with, and Tony Khan himself admitted that he wasn't a fan of the gimmick. So for the time being, Matt would essentially start doing multiple personalities alongside
even the Boston Ivy Jacket broken gimmick.
And this is also when he would start.
I mean, the broken gimmick was like it started become hot. Matt Hardy became hot in 2016. Was the hottest thing in 2016 in TNA.
With Sammy Guevara. Yep, we all know this story, don't we? Hardy and Guevara were already kind of feuding with the Elite versus Inner Circle stuff, but it became a singles feud between just the two of them, and a Broken Rules match was set for All Out 2020, and after Matt Hardy was concussed minutes into this match, hitting his head on the concrete, and somehow was made to continue the match and drag himself to a win, this can easily be seen as one of the worst AEW matches ever, and maybe the most irresponsible thing AEW has ever done. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara was an absolute disaster on all levels. It wasn't a good match. It should have been stopped minutes in, but it wasn't, and that made it so much worse. AEW received heavy backlash for this match, including from Rebby Hardy, and Matt would have to take a bit of time off. But when he would come back, he would start aligning himself with Private Party, but a mystery attacker was starting to bother Matt Hardy, and that attacker was revealed to be none other than Sammy Guevara, as for some reason, AEW decided to reignite this feud. They had an Elite Deletion match at Full Gear, which was just AEW's version of the Final Deletion, a cinematic crazy match, and it was a whatever match, and Matt Hardy.
It was a better match than the first match, though.
The win. I don't see why they need to run this feud back, but after this, Matt Hardy would start using his old Big Money Matt gimmick again and would form the Hardy Family Office, a stable made up of random AEW lower card guys like Private Party, Butcher and Blade, The Bunny, and Helico.
I ain't gonna lie, Matt Hardy looks nice in a suit though, I ain't gonna lie.
Jack Evans and more. It was a completely meaningless stable, and nobody really got over from it. He feuded with Hangman Page after trying to recruit Hangman to the group and it backfiring on him, leading to a match at Revolution 2021, which Hangman would pick up the win in, and it wasn't a great match whatsoever. After this, Matt Hardy would kind of just trail for a bit once again. He had a quick feud with the newly debuted Christian that he lost, and along with HFO, he was just in lower mid-card limbo. It was was literally such a pointless stable, and it just had zero credibility. Andrade would then get involved with it, and they formed the AHFO, which didn't change anything, and now Andrade was also just wasting his time along with this. Matt Hardy would still wrestle on pay-per-view from time to time, including at Revolution 2022, when himself, Andrade, and Isaiah Cassidy fought and lost against Darby Allin, Sting, and Sammy Guevara in the most random AEW pay-per-view match ever. And during all of this time Matt Hardy is in AEW, Jeff Hardy is still in the WWE, and around this time was finding himself within his own troubles in the WWE. See, a few months prior, in December of 2021, Jeff Hardy walked out of a tag match taking place during a live event, and there was speculation that he was intoxicated during this, but Jeff does deny that. But regardless, he was sent home and then released days later, and apparently refusing WWE to send him to rehab played a big part. And
he should have taken that rehab, because months later, then Jeff Hardy, y'all know, right?
once again, I think everyone knew where his next destination was going to be, because after his 90-day no-compete clause was up, Jeff Hardy would debut for AEW on the March 9th, 2022 Dynamite, coming to the aid of Matt Hardy as the Hardy Boyz reunited, and Matt left the AHFO, rendering it to just the AFO. Life began pretty good in AEW as they beat members of the AFO in numerous matches, and Jeff also made it to the semi-finals of the Owen Hart tournament, but their biggest win was defeating the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing 2022, and this was all done for a reason, as apparently AEW was gearing up to give them the tag belts, and thus a three-way tag team ladder match was booked for the June 15th Dynamite.
Damn, that match would have... Yo, this match right here that y'all see would have been crazy, but it never happened. It was just the Young Bucks versus the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Cause Jeff Hardy got arrested and all that shit. He got suspended and all that, and he had to go to rehab and fix himself.
Defending the titles against the Young Bucks and the Hardys, but AEW out of nowhere just stopped advertising this match. And well, that's because on June 13th, Jeff Hardy was arrested for driving under the influence, and he was indefinitely suspended the next day by AEW, with the match lineup being changed, with the Hardys being removed, and it was later confirmed that they were indeed meant to win the titles in that match, but obviously that was cancelled. And the Hardy Boyz in AEW were not the same after this whatsoever. It was a long while before Jeff came back. It was nearly a year, as he wouldn't return until April of 2023. And the Hardys were a shell of themselves as a team at this point. They were relegated down to Rampage and weren't really ever built up or involved in major storylines, and would only occasionally be on Dynamite.
I mean, they should, but like that's not the bosses. That's not Tony Khan's fault. That's the Hardys' fault. Well, not Matt Hardy, but that's Jeff Hardy's fault. Y'all know what I mean.
Such as when Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett had one of the worst matches in the show's history. There was a guy with a chainsaw or something. Isaiah Cassidy from Private Party would align himself with them, and once again it would do absolutely nothing for him. Apparently during this time, Jeff Hardy's Willow character was also going to make a return, but this was also scrapped by AEW. And Jeff Hardy would end up wrestling his final match for AEW against Sammy Guevara on the February 14th, 2024 Rampage.
I mean, Hardy has some solid matches though. I'm not gonna lie. Jeff Hardy has some solid matches while his little time at AEW with Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, who else? Swerve Strickland. He has solid matches. You feel me?
And in this match, he had his nose broken after Guevara's knee landed on his face off a top rope move, putting him off TV indefinitely, which was a shame, as Jeff Hardy had been getting a bit of a return to form recently, and had been on a pretty decent run of weekly matches against Swerve, Darby Allin, and Jon Moxley. And not too long after this, Matt Hardy would disappear from TV as his contract was expiring, and while there were talks for a renewal, Matt Hardy did indeed depart AEW, and Jeff Hardy would follow not too long after, as his contract expired earlier this month, and himself and Matt both find themselves back in TNA. I think it's a good spot for them, and probably the best spot for them right now. I could easily see them returning to the WWE at some point, maybe not soon, maybe, to be fair, as a part of this TNA crossover we could see, but time will tell. Matt Hardy, however, though, has gone on the record to say that he thinks himself and Jeff were both misused in AEW, which in a way I can kind of see, because they were pretty much jobbers, and the Hardy Boyz, they're definitely better than jobbers, but also at the same time, Jeff and Matt Hardy didn't really warrant to be a top tag team in AEW just because of their name. They couldn't really keep up with a lot of the tag teams on the roster.
Yeah, because they older, you feel me? They older guys.
And we're definitely not the best tag team in the ring in the AEW tag team division at the time they were there. And you could also say they kind of did it to themselves, as Jeff Hardy kind of showed why they can't be relied on during the one time they were actually going to get pushed as a top tag team. Either way, I'll always love the Hardys as a tag team. They're one of my favorite tag teams of all time, and I'm glad they at least did have an AEW run. It is sad the way it turned out in the end though. But to be honest, I can't say that AEW fumbled the Hardy Boyz. I just can't. That's it from me though.
Okay, that's the vid. So yeah, bro, the Hardys, yeah, bro. You know how many matches that they could have had, bro? Like, you know, like what, any tag team matches that they could have had, like Edge and Christian, FTR, like, you know, all those tag team matches AEW, all those tag team that AEW has, bro. Like, you feel me? But yeah, bro. It looks like we wasn't gonna get. It seemed like fuck it, nah. I don't know what to say. So yeah, bro. Like, they ain't TNA now. Maybe in the future, they could be on WWE events. You feel me? I could see them being in the Hall of Fame, in WWE Hall of Fame, because they deserve it, you feel me? So yeah, especially Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. Especially Jeff Hardy, you feel me? Like, Jeff Hardy's gonna definitely be in the Hall of Fame. So is Matt. So yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. If you're checking out, you are.